Since the beginning of film, horror has captivated the fear and investment of audiences for generations, even up to today. Wait, where's the color? I'll fix that. That's better. Anyway, despite all that fact of how much of an impact film has had, there has been lack of representation of it in the Academy Awards. Well, thankfully, we're about to change that with the Craven Awards. So, without further ado, welcome to the second annual Craven Awards! Welcome to the second annual Craven Awards. I'm excited to do this again. How about you, Dylan?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely excited for this.
Yeah, and I know that Dead Meat already did something like that, but we kind of wanted to do our own sort of thing with that, and we wanted to try something a little different with the Craven Awards this year. Well, last year we did it live.
Yep.
This year we're doing a kind of a more edited version of it.
Yes.
And we have guest stars
Yep.
announcing these awards. So, without further ado, let's start at the bottom. Get the cancer out of the way. It is the top worst horror films of the year. The award for worst horror film of 2023. And presenting it is going to be Jack. Take it away, Jack.
Now to this. Sorry, folks. Throughout history, the horror genre has crafted some of the most iconic stories, from universal monster movies to the nominees tonight. But every once in a while, the worst films should get a highlight. And these range from hilariously inept films to the infurious, and others that are just kind of boring. The nominees for worst horror have a combination, typically, of all three of the above. Some, unfortunately for all of us involved, worse than others. Here are the nominees for worst horror film in 2023. Children of the Corn. This remake of the 1984 cult classic kind of proves it's a Stephen King story that's just kind of unadaptable at this point. The fact that it was kind of been finished since like 2020, only to be shipped to streaming sites, very much prove that not even the studio had any faith in the thing. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Taking advantage of the Winnie the Pooh character going into the public domain, nearly anything that's wrong with any movie is right there. Bad acting, story, production, lighting. It's the food fight of horror films. It is production hell, hell watching it, and hell talking about it. The Meg 2, The Twinch. How do you make a film with 3 megalodons, a kraken, and some dinosaurs? Boring! I don't know, but The Meg 2 kind of found a way. Dull characters, subpar special effects, and action that was promised in the trailer only to show up in like the last 20 minutes of the movie. Nefarious. Max will love this one. A painfully unscary movie that was meant to preach to the choir of its target audience. I don't know what they were thinking. It's a disservice to the horror community and to film in general. Insidious, The Red Door. Just kind of an uninspired sequel to Insidious. It scares are telegraphed so hard in a horror movie like that. It's enough proof that just leave it alone. You don't need to keep pumping out stuff about it, for God's sakes. Exorcist, Believer. This personally hurts me. Hurts me so much. How do you drop the ball so hard, having an accurate portrayal of an atheist father in a religious horror movie, trying to figure out what's going on, right? You have awesome stuff. Characters not making stupid decisions. People actually figuring stuff out, acting like characters, having really cool concepts. And then the second half of the movie happens. I'm just going to leave it there. And the winner for Worst Horror Film 2023 goes to Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I can't really act like I'm shocked. It wasn't really a contest.
Oh, sorry. Didn't see you there. Just paying my respects to Worst Horror Movie of the Year, and congratulations, I guess, to Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Yeah. What? Travis,
Yeah.
do you hear something over there?
Yeah, hold on. I'm on my way.
I think it was coming from over here.
Yeah, hang on a second.
Oh,
jeez,
oh. How'd you guys get in there?
Most importantly, did you eat any of the food in there?
Just grab it.
Ah, okay. Get out of here. Get out of here. What are you doing in the fridge? So, that was a jump scare for you. Luckily for you, we pay respects to the scary and the macabre. So for that, we are gonna award the best scares of 2023.
And to introduce the best scare in a horror movie for 2023
Is Max.
Max.
Take it away, Max.
In a horror film, it's definitely good to have the carnage candy to keep the horror fans satisfied, but at the same time, horror's true goal is to scare you. Since the dawn of time, everyone's biggest fear was the fear of the unknown. The nominations for Best Scare captured that fear. Whether it be a singular scare or the whole movie left you on edge, they truly did make an impression. With that being said, here are the nominees for Best Scare in a Horror Film in 2023. The Boogeyman. The opening scene alone was by far the most effective sequence in this movie, giving the parents the primal fear of losing their children when they're not paying attention, but in this film, no one was safe. Skinamarink. Truly the fear of the unknown, Skinamarink.
Now you see, Max, I love Skinamarink so much, I've traveled through time again and changed my setup, as I will continuously throughout this video. I think Skinamarink is the perfect succinctness of how old childhood fear of being alone and the unknown is perfectly and articulately explained in a visual format in a way I've never seen before.
Excuse me?
What?
What do you mean, what? You just announced your award, it's my turn.
But I wanted to explain to you why the film's scary.
Then you should have claimed it.
I was already here. You know, I already claimed it, right? Before I could do that.
You should have been quicker.
Look, okay. Maybe we can trade for it. One of mine with this one.
No.
Come on, I really want to explain this.
I'm sorry, but no. I was assigned this award, and I'm going to announce it. You do the same with your awards. If you don't like it, then I'm afraid that's a you problem.
Alright, fine. You win.
Tell you what, I'll rephrase what you said in my own way.
Okay, fair enough.
Anyway, Skinamarink brings you back in the perspective of a child who's afraid of the dark, and with no parents around, that danger accelerates, creating an almost nightmare-like state of mind where you question what is or isn't real. Evil Dead Rise. Beyond the physical body horror, Evil Dead Rise tackles the fear of loss and how family is an important tool to combat with such fear. Missing. Missing perfectly captures the helplessness as our protagonist desperately tries to find out what happened to her mother, but upon reaching the core of that rabbit hole, things get much worse as the truth gets even scarier. Cobweb. Parental trust is important, so as noise is heard in the walls, a secret starts to unravel that trust, and it starts to crumble. And by the second half, the real horror begins. Talk to Me. Subverting the possession subgenre, Talk to Me treats it like a fun party game, but after taking things too far, the horror accelerates to various intense sequences. And the winner of Best Scares in a Horror Film in 2023 is Skinamarink. Congratulations to everyone who worked on that film and creating scares like no other.
Like the toilet jump scare.
That's it.
No, Max found me. I gotta get out of here. No.
I hope he doesn't realize I'm in my attic.
Sienna from Terrifier.
Nancy Thompson from A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Laurie Strode from Halloween.
Ellen Ripley from the Alien franchise.
Great choice, great choice. What do all these women have in common, you might ask?
They're girls.
Yes, but not just any girls. They are some of the greatest final girls in horror movies. And bringing up that point, to announce the award for Best Final Girls in a Horror Movie in 2023 is nobody but our own mother, Jill Henry. So, without further ado, take it away, Mom.
As fun as the Carnage candy can be, if you don't have a protagonist to root for, there's no tension. Therefore, you don't care what happens to anyone. With that being said, here are the nominations for Final Girl. Jessica from Thanksgiving. Probably one of the more likable members of the cast that are being hunted by the killer, John Carver, so no desire for her to end up on the chopping block. Bryn from No One Will Save You. Resourceful and cunning, she is always giving the alien invaders a run for their money, as she almost always manages to escape their grasp. Parker Mason from Sick. Always a fighter, if running isn't an option, and when she fights hard. Beth from Evil Dead Rise. Determined and not afraid at the face of death, she's willing to put her life on the line to ensure that she's saves what's left of her family. Mia from Talk to Me. Filled with grief, but as everything goes south, she does everything in her power to fix all the wrong that was committed. Sam and Tara Carpenter from Scream 6. Two sisters trying to cope after the previous film are forced in another string of murders while trying to maintain a positive relationship with each other. Luckily, they won't go down without a fight. And the winner for Best Final Girl in 2023 is Beth from Evil Dead Rise.
Travis, where are you? We need to film the next award. Come on. Travis, where the hell are... Travis! What the hell are you doing?
I thought I was gonna announce the Final Girl award.
We just did that.
Well, I just bought this wig for this occasion. I thought it made me look good. Do you think it makes me look pretty?
Take it off and we'll get ready for the next award.
Fine, you never wanted to have fun.
It's not... Travis, come on. Now, this next award, when I think about the nominees in this award, put it down.
What?
Put it down.
I like this
Put
wig.
it down or we're not continuing.
There.
When I think about the nominees in this award category, I think about people like Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees,
Pennywise. Art the Clown.
Yeah, Art the Clown. Many, many more that you can think of. And it's just an amazing category. And to announce the nominees for
Best Antagonist in a Horror Film is Jack. Take it away.
The Final Girl. It's a important aspect in the horror genre. As they always say, a hero is only as good as its villain. For best antagonist, we look to those that not only scare us, but challenge our protagonist, or even hold a mirror up and force us to question our own existence. And tonight, we've lined up a rough batch that'll make you hide under the covers, hold out a flashlight as a weapon. The nominees for best antagonist in a horror film are Dracula from Renfield.
Renfield's Dracula is a more comedic take on the character, portrayed by the stunning Nicolas Cage, one of my favorite performances of his yet. He is hilarious, he quips a lot, his old-timey speak is always in place. It is just so fun to watch Nicolas Cage kill people, you know?
Are you serious, Max? Interrupting me, too? Really?
What, you don't like the backseat driver commentary during your speech? Weird.
Okay, look. Me,
we're not doing this again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I bothering you?
Yes.
Well, you should have thought about that before taking the spotlight off of me, just because you were impatient and butthurt.
Guys, come on, we need to get through the other awards.
Look, we're really sorry that we didn't get the whole award assignment thing done accordingly, but we just need to get through this because we don't want this to delay this any longer than it already has.
Yep.
You're right. I'm sorry, Jack.
Okay, Max, though you can't find out where I am, I apologize, and it's perfectly fine. We'll get over it. It's fine. I forgive you. You're my movie buddy. It's how it is.
Agreed. Go ahead.
Thank you. And so, the nominees, as per the list. Dracula from Renfield. An irredeemable creature of the night who is intimidating yet funny, manipulative yet cunning. The character represents more so an abusive part, and Nicolas Cage is clearly having the time of his life playing it, as he does in every one of his roles. Megan from Megan, who could have guessed? What seems to be basically the perfect surrogate parent for an orphan child. Megan, it's a bit of an allegory when we allow technology to kind of raise our children while fulfilling their primary program of protecting the child by any means necessary, even if they have to get their hands a little dirty, so, you know. The Bear from Cocaine Bear is on this list. A juggernaut, a force of nature, this bear is set out to kill almost anything in its path, and all for its newly found addiction to cocaine. Valek from The Nun 2. I think that's how you pronounce that. I wouldn't know. Or whether it's standing in the shadows or in the foreground. Valek is a force to not be reckoned with. Truly challenging everyone's faith while toying with its victims before killing them. Ellie from Evil Dead Rise. In typical Deadite fashion, she loves playing around with her victims and scaring them before brutally killing them, even getting family and friends to join in on the fun. Even if she loses a limb, she's still coming at you. John Carver from Thanksgiving. A killer with a self-righteous set of morals to punish those who take advantage of the greedy side of Thanksgiving at the expense of innocent bystanders, with brutal kills to prove his point. And the winner for Best Antagonist in a horror film for 2023 is Ellie from Evil Dead Rise. Congratulations for your win, and remember, Mommy's with the maggots now.
You know, some of the best moments from horror films are actually the kill sequences, and there are quite a few iconic kills, from the opening scene of Jaws to the iconic shower scene in Psycho, and the most creative ones being from the Terrifier franchise. So, to introduce best kills in a horror film, they will be announced by my sister, Morgan. Our sister, technically, but still. Take it away, Morgan!
In horror, it's important to be scary, but the kills are usually the highlight. For best kills, we look for the most creative, brutal, demented, and fun. And tonight, we have a mix of all the above. Here are the nominees for the best kills for 2023. Evil Dead Rise. Every kill in this film is downright sadistic and bloody. From decapitation, fire, and chainsaws, this one has it all. Renfield. The kills here are over the top, but fun, creative, and hilarious at times, but at times it doesn't hold its punches back when things get serious. Cocaine Bear. The deaths are creative and hilarious, as no one is safe from this bear once it comes in contact with those drugs. Anyone who meets their gruesome end usually are torn limb from limb, but others are shot, launched out a window, and even disemboweled. Saw X. Each death is personal and fitting to the crime these scam artists committed. No death is easier to imagine yourself going through, but are so fun to watch at the end of the day. Thanksgiving. Proof that slasher films still have steam in them, this 2023 slasher film takes full advantage of the Thanksgiving holiday and makes deaths that somewhat match the season of giving. Many are gruesome, but fun at the same time. Five Nights at Freddy's. Mostly off-screen, but the implication is enough to be even a little menacing. One in particular being Max's death. That bite was by far the most gruesome kill, and for a PG-13 film too. And the winner for Best Kills in 2023 goes to Evil Dead Rise. Congratulations on your win. If there's one thing this film taught me, it's to never take your family for granted. Because someone could read the Book of the Dead and my mother will eat someone's eye out and put it in someone else's mouth.
Wait, what?
It's so dark in here. I feel like I'm on the set of Alien vs. Predator Requiem. Or even Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. Wait, I think I found the light. That's better. So lighting is important for any film, but especially in a horror film. They can bring a moody atmosphere and all that stuff. So, to introduce our nominees for Best Lighting in a Horror Film is Eric. Take it away.
Lighting is important for film in general. Not only do you have to see the film, but lighting can be used in a stylistic way. Setting the mood, atmosphere, and a bonus action can make your film look cool. Here are the nominees for Best Lighting in a Horror Film. Renfield. The use of lighting gives the film a fun B-movie feel while being a love letter to the Universal monsters with saturated greens and reds to give it a Hammer feeling to it. Evil Dead Rise. The way this film is lit gives a grungy and dirty feel to it, and it gets darker as things get crazy to represent the bleak thought of your family being taken away from you, only to have a glimmer of hope at the end. Talk to Me. The use of lighting gives an ominous feel, especially during night shots and for the final act of the film. A Haunting in Venice. Reminiscent of the Halloween specials on TV, A Haunting in Venice gives a haunted house feeling where throughout the film you question whether or not the ghosts are real or in the characters' minds. Five Nights at Freddy's. A welcoming yet ominous feeling from the Fazbear's Pizza area. But once those lights go out, it shows the true sinister nature of the inhabitants of the supposedly abandoned building. Infinite Pool. Very reminiscent of Dario Argento. This film has a dreamlike quality to it, or even like a fever dream. The lighting represents the passion of what the characters are doing while representing its danger. And the winner, Best Lighting, goes to Infinity Pool.
What's the name of that one movie? Oh, Travis. Have you seen Train to Busan?
I have not seen that movie.
I've
heard it's good though.
It's a very good movie. Which brings me to my next point. There are some great horror movies out there, but what you don't know is that a lot of them are of foreign nature and of the international market.
Yeah.
There are some hit classics like
we got Ringu, Jew on the Grudge, and most recently, Veronica.
Veronica really shook me to my core too, and I was blown away with how good that movie was. So to introduce Best International Feature in a Horror Movie, here is
Morgan.
Take it away, Morgan.
International horror doesn't get nearly enough attention as it should. Films like The Babadook, Ju-on, The Grudge, and more. Tonight's nominations are proof that there are more amazing films outside the country. Here are the nominations for the Best International Horror Films of 2023. Talk to Me. This Australian horror film follows a group of friends who use an embalmed hand to conjure spirits, but treat it as a party game, but get way over their heads as one takes it too far. The Forbidden Play. This Japanese film follows a young man who performs a resurrection spell to attempt to bring his recently deceased mother only to awaken something much more sinister. Sleep. This Korean horror comedy is about a young woman who tries everything to stop her husband sleepwalking before he hurts himself and others. Attachment. This Danish film follows a former actress who falls in love with a woman who suffers through mysterious seizures, but upon meeting her girlfriend's mother, there's a possibly dark secret that must be uncovered. Husera. The Bone Woman. A soon-to-be mother is haunted by a spirit after seeing someone fall off a building and breaking their legs. When Evil Lurks. This Argentina film follows two brothers who carelessly dispose of a demon-infected body, only for the chaos to spread throughout a remote village. And the winner for Best International Horror Film of 2023 is Talk to Me. Well deserved, if you ask me. In fact, true story, the opening to this movie was so intense that in my theater, someone walked out. If that doesn't show how effective it is, then I don't know what else will.
Wow, those are some great movies right there. I mean, being able to watch foreign movies like that seems like a foreign concept. You're gonna keep that joke in, right?
Yes, I'll keep it in. I'll try to do something with it.
Good. Just to make sure that you do, I'll pay you up front for that.
Yeah, this will do nicely.
Pleasure doing business with you.
The nominees for Best Visual Effects in a Horror Movie will be announced by our good friend Max. Take it away, Max.
Special effects can be a wonderful tool if used properly to convince the audience that what they're seeing is real, whether it be CGI or practical effects. The nominees tonight for Best Visual Effects are a good showing of both, to prove that the art form isn't dead. Here are the nominees for Best Visual Effects in a Horror Film for 2023. Megan. The film used CGI enhancements with some animatronics to bring the character to life, which required at least 3 different remote controls for the facial movements, along with a fully CGI fight scene between Megan and her opponent Bruce. Renfield. A mix of practical effects and CGI, with mostly CGI blood for comedic purposes. Renfield doesn't shy away from practical effects for the kill scenes. Five Nights at Freddy's. Life-size animatronics were used along with suits, with the game's creator there to make sure the creators looked like they were ripped right out of the games the film was based on. No One Will Save You. The use of CGI was used sparingly, but was effective as each alien had unique designs and even used motion capture actors to make the movement seem like the aliens are really there. Evil Dead Rise. With the use of practical effects, it has made every act of violence seem more gruesome and painful. The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Basing the creature off of Count Orlok from Nosferatu, the crew used CG enhancement to create a human-bat hybrid. Pretty much all the exterior ship shots were CG, as long as digital cities to make the city sets seem larger than they really were. And the winner for Best Visual Effects for a Horror Film in 2023 is a tie between Evil Dead Rise and Five Nights at Freddy's. Congratulations to both films. I believe both films had some sort of positive effect on everyone who watched them. Pun fully intended.
Travis, what are you doing? We have to film the next award. Travis, are you in here again? What are you doing? Like, Travis!
What?
What are you doing? Is that the wig again? What are you doing? Is that makeup?
Yeah, because it's best makeup nominee.
Give me that wig!
You give that. Get that wig. Get that away. I will stab you with
Give me
it.
that wig.
No.
I'm throwing this away!
No, don't
You
dare.
throw this wig away!
How dare you?
Give me that wig!
You're just jealous because I'm beautiful.
For the next award, this is for Best Makeup in a Horror Movie. To announce this award, throw that wig away now!
Never.
To announce this award, here's our sister Morgan. Take it away, Morgan.
If you want to make the monster and gore look convincing, but CGI is out of the question, you need top-tier makeup to make it look somewhat believable. Here are the nominees for Best Makeup for a Horror Film in 2023. Evil Dead Rise. The transformation for Alyssa Sutherland was practically unrecognizable as she turned into a deadite, as there were other victims, mangled bodies who felt the wrath of Ellie. Renfield. The decaying flesh of Nicolas Cage in this horror comedy showed how weak the character was from his previous injury. But once he gained his strength, the makeup truly enhanced the overall unhinged personality Nick Cage delivered. The Last Voyage of the Demeter. While some digital enhancements were used, the most famous vampire in pop culture was given an almost animalistic approach, making him more unsettling with the choice of giving him no eyelids, thus making him the embodiment of evil. This film was on the shortlist for makeup for the Academy Awards, but sadly didn't make the cut. Saw X. The level of detail in the kills were so good, it almost made you wonder for a second that what you were seeing may have been real. Beau is Afraid. Old age makeup is incredibly hard to do without it looking like a rubber mask, but this film accomplished that mission with flying colors. And, like The Last Voyage of the Demeter, this film also made it to the Academy Awards, only to get snubbed. Thankfully, we're here to fix that. Talk to Me. The ghosts in this film were grotesque and disturbing beyond anything I've seen, nearly the whole year. And the body horror that occurs is also quite disturbing as well. And the winner for Best Makeup goes to Evil Dead Rise.
There you are. You're nice and safe from bad Dylan. Wait. What's that? Dylan, what are you doing?
Hello there! My name is Draxor, but you can call me Draxor the Romantic. And I am here to introduce who is announcing the nominees for Best Costume in a Horror Movie. Now, costume is very, very important to Draxor, because as you can see, my very luxurious beard. Now, to introduce Best Costume in a Horror Movie, here is Eric! Take it away, Eric!
The costume can say a lot about a character. It can reflect themes, and it can give a film that unique flair that's needed to stand out from any other film. Here are some nominees for Best Costume in a Horror Film. Cocaine Bear resembles the royal 80s very well with a hiking gear, ranger uniforms, and even the EMT. The attention to detail certainly has not gone unnoticed. The Nun 2 represents the 1950s nun attire very well, not to mention that the antagonist, Valak, has a very recognizable look. Renfield. Flashy outfits that give the character a distinct look to them, to include Renfield himself, the bad guys he fights, and Dracula. Totally Killer. Where Cocaine Bear represents the royal side of the 80s, this film represents the glamorized city side of the 80s feel very well. Beau is Afraid. Different costume styles as it goes through various periods of time through Beau's life. The theater troupe in the woods and the city folk in the first half of the movie definitely gives this film a definite look to it. A Haunting in Venice. Wonderful recreation of the 1940s outfits, but also of the World War I era. And the winner for Best Costume goes to Renfield, congratulations to everybody involved. The film's certainly one you can main your teeth into.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
We have sound. We have sound.
Good job.
Okay. What's up?
I was just about to say the nominees for sound.
Oh, okay.
So to introduce the sound of the nominees for sound, we have Max. So take it away, Max.
Sound is what's expected from a horror film to build tension, atmosphere, or just a quick scare. The nominees for Best Sound create a sense of realism, at least in the film's universe. Here are the nominees for Best Sound in a Horror Film in 2023. The Nun 2. Using its gothic atmosphere to its advantage, the sound is so effective it gives the feeling of someone always watching you, even if you can't see them. Megan. The use of machine sounds are more realistic and organic in a way, and there's a slight distort used in the voice once the third act occurs. No One Will Save You. The sound used for the aliens gives a unique take on the home invasion and alien subgenre and otherworldly feel to it. Skinamarink. The sound of stumbling on a video on the dark web, it's like the childhood illusion of safety is pulled away, leaving you with less and less as time goes on. Saw X. The sickening sound of slicing flesh and broken bones accompanied by the noises made from worn down machinery as the screams from justice being served has an almost feel to it. Oh my god. This is vile, disgusting, and disturbing. I love it. Evil Dead Rise. The booming sounds from the impending doom is enough to spike your anxiety, especially as the distorted voice of what was these children's mother will surely make you appreciate the family you already have. And the winner for Best Sound in a Horror Movie goes to Megan. Congratulations on the win.
Congratulations on Megan for the win. I have decided to hide in an undisclosed location so that Max cannot find me and enact his retribution. Be sure to stay tuned because more awards are on the way.
Get out of my section.
Okay. I'll get out of your section. Until next time.
Maybe.
What in the hell are you doing?
I am dancing to Beethoven. Classic music.
Why on earth would you be dancing to Beethoven right now?
Because it is time to introduce our next category, musical score in a horror film.
Okay.
So to introduce best score in a horror film is Jack. Take it away, Jack.
Take it away.
Dun 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 dun.
Score. Since the beginning of cinema, the musical score has always been integral to the narrative for each film, establishing the tone, themes, emotional beats, and even its own personal identity when compared to others. A score can also elevate any movie. No matter how poorly it's made, if the music's good, it's at least tolerable. Tonight's picks for scores are filled with wonder, mystery, and hopefully a little fun. The nominees for today: Infinity Pool. The music resembles a nightmare that a protagonist is stuck in, much like being stuck within a pool of blood with no room to breathe. The Last Voyage of the Demeter, with a slight ominous tone. The Last Voyage of the Demeter invoked loneliness, despair, but in the darkest hour of the movie, there's a bit of hope, a light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. Of course, those feelings are often ripped away just as easily, but, it's well done. Beau is Afraid. The uncertainty and anxiety-inducing nature of Beau is Afraid's soundtrack consistently puts the audience sort of in the same perspective as the lead, just kind of going from thing to thing, trying to figure out what the hell is happening, and slowly finding out the truth. Saw X. The high tension in this entry is obviously enough to be excited at the beginning, but at the same time, when those viscera start going, you'll wince in your seat every time a saw blade starts whirring. Five Nights at Freddy's. The score gives a bit of childlike wonder to it, and it has a bit of a sinister edge as well. You think just sort of a harmless, fun, sort of childlike tune isn't really innocent when you actually look at what's under the surface. Excuse me. A Haunting in Venice. Giving off a bit of a vibe of a kind of creepy haunted house story. You'd hear it on the radio or TV, or like a Choose Your Own Adventure book as a kid, or a Pokemon Halloween special. It's ominous, but it doesn't go too far. It's mostly about the mystery and that sort of deal. But it still effectively uses its music to enhance its scenes. And the award for the best score in a horror film for 2023 is, with no doubts, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. I could not think of a movie that deserved this award more than this one. But Bear McCreary, dude, he did not have to go that hard on a movie that ended up flopping that hard, even though it was good and it didn't deserve to flop. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Hey Travis.
Yes.
You know, since I'm editor, I can do pretty much anything I want to you right now.
Well, yeah, I kind of know that, but I don't know if I...
So, like, right here I can put smiley face emoji.
What? How'd you do that?
Yeah, see right over here on your left side? See, it's right here.
Oh!
Next to you. Yep. Right,
I don't know if I like...
right down here on your right side, I can put a dancing leprechaun.
Ugh. I don't think I like this.
Oh, you don't like that?
I don't know if I do.
What if I put a word going across the screen right here?
Wow. This is magic.
Yeah, well, how about we announce our pick, or who's announcing best editing?
For the nominees for Best Editing, it is going to be Eric. So, take it away, Eric.
Editing is the skeleton for every film, but anyone can put clips together. It takes time, patience, and skill to be able to assemble scenes together and be able to tell a story with no dialogue. Here are the nominees for Best Editing in a Horror Film for 2023. Sick. From the comedic editing of joking, what we had to go through during the lockdown, to the tension-filled chase sequence and fights. This film has those tones balanced well.
Skinamarink.
The frequency of its jump cuts give an uneasy feeling as you watch this, making it seem like one of those videos you stumble on the dark web that you shouldn't watch. But your curiosity gets the better of you. Infinity Pool. As the film goes on and things get crazier, unorthodox editing will occur to give that never-ending nightmare feeling you want to wake up to, but you never do. Saw X. Great use of visual storytelling in the first half, but once the traps begin, the cuts become shorter and shorter to resemble the heightened paranoia and stress each contestant goes through once it's their turn to play. Talk to Me. Seems like straightforward editing, but subtle cuts do establish character motivation, state of mind, and progression of the story. Thanksgiving. Subtle visual gags told through editing and nice touches to this overall fun throwback 1980s slasher movie with a hint of social commentary. And the winner for Best Editing goes to Saw X. I definitely can say I saw that one coming.
Okay, a little bit to the right. Careful.
Okay, yeah.
A little bit to the left. Left, right. Okay. Tilt it down a little bit. Okay, careful. Okay, you're good.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we got the setup good.
So, I think we got it. Now, what that insignified was
Best production in a horror film. Production
And-
design, anyway.
to announce the nominees for Best Production Design in a Horror Movie is our mother, Jill.
Yeah.
Take it away, Mom.
Woo!
The overall look of your film is important. For production design, it's more than just a nice set. It's a combination of costume, props, lighting, and of course, set design. Without further ado, here are the nominees for Best Production Design for a Horror Film in 2023. The Nun 2. The gothic design of this film gives a haunted house feel, along with the muted colors which gives the film a rich atmosphere. Infinity Pool. In the daytime, the film gives this island a postcard vibe for tourists, but at night it grows into a nightmarish hellscape. Renfield. Almost a modern Hammer film story with the classic Universal monster sprinkled in, the vibrant colors and elaborate set pieces make it stand out amongst other modern Dracula films. Cobweb. The home featured in this film seems welcoming, but as the plot thickens, it grows into an unpleasant dungeon. Saw X. The warehouse acts as a fitting punishment for those who wish to scam people on borrowed time, only to put them in a similar situation. And Five Nights at Freddy's. Very familiar, as it resembles not only the games, which had influence from the original game designer, but from places like Chuck E. Cheese. Very nostalgic, but sinister at the same time. And the winner for Best Production is Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, that was some great cinematography. And, cinematography makes a great horror movie. And to announce the winners and nominees for cinematography in a horror movie, again, is our mom, Jill. Take it away, Mom.
Arguably, cinematography is one of the most important elements to a film, because anyone can just point a camera and click, but it takes skill to film something in a way where you can tell what's going on with the volume turned off. Here are the nominees for Best Cinematography for a Horror Film in 2023. A Haunting in Venice. The use of Dutch angles and close-ups give a very unsettling experience, especially since there may or may not be supernatural forces behind all of the events that occur. Skinamarink. Like a dark home movie you find on the dark web, this film leaves room for interpretation for what this movie may be about. Beau is Afraid. The use of wide shots allow you to almost feel like you're in this world. The best example by far is the showing of the play in the forest in the second act of the film. Cobweb. The use of close-ups and shadows create a sense of danger in a place that's supposed to be safe for a child. Evil Dead Rise. Taking place primarily in one building, mostly one apartment building, a hallway, elevator, and a parking garage, the film has a claustrophobic feel to it. Nowhere feels safe. Infinity Pool. Like Beau is Afraid, Infinity Pool has a great use of wide shots to show off the island, giving a sense of beauty, yet shady nature. And the winner for Best Cinematography goes to Evil Dead Rise.
Can I ask these, please? Cinematography is my passion.
No, you should have claimed it first.
It's not too late. You can swap with one of my categories before the award ceremony is edited.
It's already edited.
Damn it.
Maybe next year.
Sounds like a plan. I'll hold you to it.
we're going to take a break from all the joking right now. And we're at the point in our Craven Awards where we take a dive into all the horror icons, actors, directors, people in the horror community that we have lost. And we've lost some great people over the last year since the last Craven Awards. Some you'll know, some you might not know, but we want to put them in there, and let's just give our respects in memory of the 2024 Craven Awards. Salute to you guys. Here we go. This is for all of you who didn't make it to 2025, for you horror fans, and for you horror icons. Thank you. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm writing the skits for the next few awards.
What's the next award?
Screenplay writing.
Who's doing screenplay?
You are.
Oh. I better get to it.
Yeah. You see, screenplay writing is actually sort of the backbone to these kind of projects, and you need a real good writer in order to do that. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but you know, I'm kind of a good writer. I'm just gonna say that the next award is gonna be announced by Dylan. So, take it away, Dylan.
Writing takes skill and patience. You have the power to create a world through words, which then transfers onto film for audiences around the world to see. But to have that work remembered takes skill. The nominees for Best Screenplay reflect how memorable each film was. Here are the nominees. A Haunting in Venice. With it being a murder mystery, every detail, no matter how minor they may seem, are important upon rewatch. And with the supernatural aspect, it's done in a way where even after the film has ended, you're never sure what's real and what wasn't. Talk to Me. The exploration of guilt and sorrow is so haunting and poetic and leaves the audience feeling that level of despair that leaves room for hope that you want more. Infinity Pool. A well-crafted social commentary on how the rich tend to get away with committing horrible crimes as long as they have the money to justify it. Infinity Pool delves into descending madness thrusted into our protagonist, falling into that rabbit hole as it goes on up to its cinematic end. Sick. While being a suspenseful chase film, as our protagonist attempts to escape a killer, it's also a playful jab at life during the pandemic. Beau is Afraid. Sort of the anti-hero's journey, this journey explores the anxious nature of our protagonist, as we see the world as he sees it and all sense of reality gets lost as the story continues. Evil Dead Rise, a fun callback to the original movies while being a brutal, claustrophobic splatter flick. This film explores themes of the power of family and what you'll do when your loved ones eventually perish. And the winner for Best Screenplay in a Horror Film goes to Infinity Pool. Congratulations. Travis, we need that skull for the acting awards. Where is it? Travis, I swear if you are in here with that wig on that skull, I swear by all that is... Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry!
For the next award, it is for Best Supporting Actress in a Leading Role. Here are the nominees. The nomination for Best Actress in a Supporting Role features those who may not be the final girl, but sometimes are memorable in their own way. Some even outshine the stars of their respected film. Here are the nominees for Best Supporting Actress in a Horror Film. Michelle Yeoh from A Haunting in Venice. Playing the part of Joyce Reynolds, a character who claims to speak to those beyond the grave, she gives a haunting performance as she channels those spirits while challenging how our protagonist's viewpoints of what is or isn't real. Brooklyn Prince from Cocaine Bear. Playing the part of Dee Dee, she plays the character with optimism, being somewhat naive, but at the same time doesn't take crap from anyone. Hayden Panettiere from Scream 6, reprising her role as Scream fan favorite Kirby Reed from Scream 4. Hayden plays a veteran who's learned from her mistakes to get in the head to help take down the next Ghostface killer. Alexandra Jensen from Talk to Me. Playing the part of Jade, this is a character who goes through so much, from a party game gone horribly wrong to anger from what happened to hopelessness. She shows that grief can be a sad and scary thing. Shawnee Smith from Saw X. Playing the part Amanda Young, she plays someone who's on the side of Jigsaw's motivation, but has a dark cloud looming over her that makes her question if the worst people are not getting the punishment they quite deserve. Both playing the role of Megan, Jenna Davis provides the voice where it goes from comforting to intimidating. When the going gets tough, while Amy Donald is in the costume and using her dancing abilities to provide a physical performance to the character that seems unnatural. And the winner for Best Supporting Actress in a Supporting Role in a Horror Film, Hayden Panettiere from Scream 6. Congratulations, and wow, what a performance. Travis, help me out with this.
Yeah.
We're trying to support this, okay? Okay, that's not going to work. Try to help me support this skull right here.
All right.
It's all about supporting, right?
Right.
I'm trying to support maybe if we take this out. Oh, look at that.
Oh, that is a good support system there.
That's a good support to the main thing right there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Wait. What's the next award?
Supporting actor. And it is announced by me.
Take it away, Travis.
The nominations for Best Actor in a Supporting Role is someone who stole the show more than even the lead roles. Here are the nominees for Best Supporting Actor in a Horror Film of 2023. Jude Hill from A Haunting in Venice. Playing the role of Leopold, the young actor who has to play the part of a child taking care of his father who was a nervous wreck, making him the most composed out of the entire party as things get wild. Dave Bautista from Knock at the Cabin. Playing the part of Leonard, Bautista plays probably the most complex character to date. Playing a man who believes in his cause, and though he doesn't want to do it, he has to do it for the better good. Joe Bird from Talk to Me. Playing the part of Riley, Bird plays a kid who wants to fit in with others, but once things go too far, he channels various emotions all within a minute, and the physical performances he showcases is truly something that is hard to forget. Nicolas Cage from Renfield. Playing the role of Dracula, Cage is menacing, but he's also having fun and chewing the scenery, and as he's having a blast doing it. Christian Convery from Cocaine Bear. Playing the part of Henry, it's clear that not only is this kid having fun with the role, but he's also hilarious, especially when I honestly believe that kids swearing in movies will always be hilarious. Again, to me anyway. He goes from having fun to fearing for his life all the way just to be done with everything that happened throughout the film. Ray Liotta from Cocaine Bear. Playing the part of Sid, this crime boss has just had enough of his members dropping the ball in a spectacular manner while having fun with the role. And the winner for Best Supporting Actor in a Horror Film in 2023 goes to Nicolas Cage. More like not the bats instead of not the bees. But seriously, congratulations, Nicolas Cage, for winning this award.
To be or not to be?
That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler to the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune.
Travis! What are you doing?
I wanted to say that monologue.
This is mine!
Well, I bought it.
Yeah, but this is mine. Anyway, here are the nominees for Best Actress in a Leading Role in a Horror Movie 2023. The nominations for Best Actress in a Leading Role is truly an honor to receive. This is Scream Queen levels. With that being said, here are the nominees for Best Actress in a Leading Role. Caitlin Denver from No One Will Save You. Playing the part of Bryn Denver, uses most body language and facial expressions to tell the story, as there's almost no dialogue, and it's impressive what she was able to achieve with such limitations. Awkwafina from Renfield. Playing the part of Rebecca, Awkwafina is a cop who isn't respected by her coworkers and her sister, as she tries to make sense of everything that goes around in her town. Storm Reed from Missing. Playing the part of June, she channels confusion, concern, determination to fear. As a mystery unravels itself, we learn things as she does. Mia Goth from Infinity Pool. Playing the part of Gabby, Goth is someone who can play someone who's insane, but not only is she terrifying, but you want to see more of her. Sophie Wilde from Talk to Me. Playing the part of Mia, this is someone who goes through grief and sorrow, but her ability to turn into someone else and keep it up for such long periods of time is nothing short of amazing. Alyssa Sutherland from Evil Dead Rise. Playing the part of Ellie, the amount of physical performance she had to do makes you think it was CGI when it wasn't her dancing background to her advantage. And her terrifying facial expressions made it one of the most unsettling performances that year. And the winner for Best Actress in a Leading Role in a Horror Film for 2023 goes to Alyssa Sutherland for Evil Dead Rise. Probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, horror film of that year. Congratulations.
Hey Dylan, you ready for the next award? Hey, what are you doing?
I'm watching our friend Eric's Advice to Actors video.
Oh, okay.
It's very informative.
Oh, okay.
What do you need?
The next award.
Wait, you're doing the next award.
Wait. Best actor in a leading role. That's it. Okay, we're gonna have to set the little mood thing, the mood lights, and get back in there. And
okay.
So, take it away, me. Having a lead role is always the hardest job, I would say. And with no Scream King title, at least not officially to my knowledge, as an option, the nominees for Best Actor in a Leading Role had to work extra hard to become an icon in their own way. With that being said, here are the nominees for Best Actor in a Leading Role of a Horror Film in 2023. Joaquin Phoenix from Beau is Afraid. Playing the part of the title character, Beau, he portrays someone with anxiety very accurately. He also plays the role as the avatar for the audience going through this crazy journey. Nicholas Hoult from Renfield. Also playing the title character, Renfield is a more sympathetic version of that type of character. Someone who wants to be accepted, but he feels like he's stuck in this unhealthy relationship where he's gaslit and manipulated to do whatever his master tells him to do, only to discover his self-worth toward the end. Russell Crowe from The Pope's Exorcist. Playing a more fun, laid-back kind of character, the type that you're usually accustomed to, that exorcist type priest, but it's always fun to have a character that diverts that role, and Russell Crowe, I think, does that very well. Tobin Bell from Saw X. Playing the part of John Kramer, we follow his journey as he feels the hopelessness of his cancer, only to have that hope that he has found a cure, only to have that feeling ripped away from him. It's actually kind of hard to watch. It makes you truly feel for the guy, as he just wants justice for those that screwed him over, and trying to find justice for other people who were unable to fight back. Alexander Skarsgård from Infinity Pool. Playing the part of James, this is someone who goes through so much trauma and insanity, it's hard to not feel the same way as you go through this story, and you fall into the depth of madness. Kenneth Branagh from A Haunting in Venice. Playing the part of Hercule, this is someone who has become a character to the point where it's hard to even see the actor, as he expresses curiosity and intrigue. It's so contagious that you feel like you're the investigator too. And the winner for Best Actor in a Leading Role in a Horror Film in 2023 goes to Joaquin Phoenix. Congratulations, Joaquin. You certainly did deserve this award.
Okay, Travis, for this, I want you to act like there's a spaceship beaming down on you and you're terrified. Ready? Action.
Don't abduct me!
Okay, now for this next shot, we're going to do the same thing, but for some reason you're happy. Ready? Action.
Finally!
Okay, that's good. Wait. We're doing this and we have our second to last award.
Director.
And what perfect person to announce director but you?
I'm flattered. So, take it away, me. Arguably, the director, which is probably one of my passions, is one of the most important positions outside of screenplay writing, because not only do you have to direct the actors, but also the crew as well. So bringing the vision together is a lot for one person to handle. So the nominations for Best Director managed to create a vision that's cohesive and entertaining. With that being said, here are the nominees for Best Director in a Horror Film in 2023. Danny and Michael Filippo for Talk to Me. Starting off as making YouTube videos, these two have created a unique possession story like no other, adding social commentary on influencers, risking their lives over likes, comments, and subscribers, while adding a level of grief and how holding on to trauma for too long could destroy you and everyone around you from the inside out. Ari Aster for Beau's Afraid, creating a journey for our title character as he goes through not only a physical quest, but a mental quest as well when he comes to term for his past. Kenneth Branagh for A Haunting in Venice, creating an unsettling atmosphere as we slowly reveal a mystery resembling a Halloween special that we used to watch as kids, and even making you question whether or not what you saw is real or supernatural. Lee Cronin from Evil Dead Rise, with themes of loss of a family member and appreciating what you already have, as you never truly know when each interaction will be your last. Cronin creates a claustrophobic feel as no space in this apartment complex is safe. Brandon Cronenberg from Infinity Pool, creating a surreal nightmare that you can't fully wake up from. Not only does the film give you a relevant social commentary on how people get away with horrible things simply because they're rich, it also makes you question the reality of each situation. Kyle Edward Ball for Skinamarink. Leaving much up to the interpretation to the audience, the director does exploit the irrational fear of the dark from the perspective of a child. And the winner for Best Director in a Horror Film for 2023 goes to Lee Cronin for Evil Dead Rise. Mummies with the maggots, indeed.
All right. Here we go. It's about that time. You ready?
All led up to this.
What a way to end off this award show, but with the most important award of the night, Travis.
That's right.
Best Picture. Now, these are the 10 nominations for Best Picture, Best Horror Film
For 2023.
2023. Let's get started. Travis?
Beau is Afraid. A movie that perfectly captures the feeling of having anxiety to the point where it made me feel anxious as well. And it's also an epic odyssey quest about coming to terms of one's abusive mother and coming to terms of standing up for yourself.
Evil Dead Rise. This movie, I kid you not, was one of the 2 movies in the last probably 3 years that has made me scared to go to sleep. The visuals, the makeup, the acting, just the overall scare factor of this movie is amazing. The directing of this movie is amazing. The special effects, the cinematography, everything about this movie was amazing, and I'm glad this movie is nominated.
Scream 6. Just a fun slasher film that pokes at the tropes of modern slasher films and modern horror films about having to make an epic trilogy, even if it doesn't need to, but while being at the same time its own fun flavor.
Infinity Pool. This movie really messed me up in some ways. I've seen it once and I really want to see it again. It really is a great movie and I am going to see it again. And I would really recommend you guys see this movie because there are parts of this movie that really messed me up.
Megan. What I truly enjoyed about this one is the fact that it kind of puts up a mirror about people just giving an iPad to your child and basically having the iPad raise the child. And if anything, with the rise of AI and technology, it's becoming more relevant, and that is the scary part.
Saw X. Saw, in general, the whole franchise, it's probably one of my favorite franchises ever. And when I saw this was coming out, I was excited. But man, was I blown away with how good this movie was, to the extent that they made you actually feel bad and sorry for John Kramer.
Skinamarink.
Yeah.
Kind of resembling, it's an experimental type movie, so not much of a narrative, but it gives you more of a feeling of dread and the unnatural feeling of the dark. And the good thing about this one is it also leaves a lot of interpretation up to the viewer. So everyone has their own interpretation of that said movie. A Haunting in Venice. What I liked about this one is that it was just a straightforward mystery type movie with a little bit of a Halloween spirit to it. So it looks like one of those times where you can put something on in the early fall and it's not intense enough where it will dissuade people. So it's a good gateway horror film. And again, like we've been saying before, it is one that it makes you question on whether or not the supernatural is real or not.
Renfield. What can I say except good job, Nicolas Cage. He really stole the show in this movie, and the overall comedy and seriousness in like tandem of this movie was just great.
Talk to me. Probably one of the most unique possession horror films that I have seen in years. Because too often or not, Exorcist type movies lead to Exorcist ripoff or Rosemary's Baby ripoff. This one completely does a brand new sort of idea, where it's a social commentary on how we use social media and interactions toward dangerous things just to get clicks and likes, while at the same time perfectly showcasing grief and how that can destroy everyone around you from the inside out.
And the winner for Best Horror Film of 2023 is Evil Dead Rise. Very well deserved, and it was probably my favorite horror film of that year.
Yeah, I would say
we want to thank all of the people that were involved in the Craven Awards this year. We couldn't have done it without you. We are excited for the Craven Awards next year.
And also, even the movies that did not win either of the awards, I strongly recommend at least seeing most of these movies. Except for the bad ones, I would say go ahead and skip the ones for the worst ones, because those ones deserve to be buried.
And for the ones that won, congratulations. We applaud you. Without any other hesitation, we appreciate you guys watching this year's Craven Awards. If you like this video and you want to see more videos like this video and you want to see all our videos, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, turn on the notifications so you get notified when we upload new videos. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Travis.
We're the 4-6 boys. See ya.
I'm gonna get that wig.
No.